Good evening. I'm Jennifer Lee. Thank you for joining us tonight. The jurors in the murder trial of Jermaine Bass will be back in court tomorrow. He's the Hillsborough County father accused of shooting both of his children in 2022, killing his 5-year-old daughter. Prosecutors showed jurors new video of the crime scene as they tried to recreate the events of that fateful night. Lenny Supal has the details.
Closing arguments went on for nearly 2 hours. Prosecutors standing firm in their argument, but telling the jury to read between the lines. Defense attorneys grilling prosecutors for making that statement. They say there's not enough evidence for a guilty verdict. New surveillance video released in court giving jurors more insight into the night 2 young children were shot in the head inside their Tampa home. Moments after the shooting, their mother, Shirley Bass, seen leaving the house, going to a neighbor who called 911. Her husband, Jermaine Bass, charged in the shooting and killing his 5-year-old daughter, Jayla. His 8-year-old son critically injured just a short time after they were tucked into bed.
These children were helpless and defenseless, laying in their bed, and the defendant admitted to being the person who shot and gave an excuse as to it being an accident. However, I believe the state has put forth evidence that this could not have occurred as an accident.
The evidence in the case also shows that not only was my client's DNA on the firearm, but his son's DNA was on the trigger and grip as well.
A total of 5 shots were fired, 4 striking the children who were laying side by side.
A semi-automatic firearm requires a pull of the trigger for every shot that is fired.
Bass arrested on the scene. He says the shooting was an accident.
It accidentally discharged and hit your son. What happened to your daughter upstairs?
But defense attorneys presenting a different side of the case.
Is it fair to say then, Corporal, that Shirley Bass was uncooperative with the attempts that were made by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office to have her son interviewed?
There were times where Shirley Bass was uncooperative, and then there were other times where I personally spoke with her where she appeared fully cooperative.
Defense attorneys appear to be pinning the shooting on Bass's 8-year-old son. They say a child is capable of firing a gun, and his DNA was also found on the trigger. But they also told the jury that they'll walk away with more questions and answers. It's ultimately up to that jury to decide his fate. Reporting from the Hillsborough County Courthouse, Lenny Supal, 8 on your side.